My name is Michelle and I'm with Sway Me Vegas. I'm here today to make a bow with you in honor of St. Patrick's Day. So I have some of my favorite St. Patrick's Day ribbon. And we are also going to talk about some of the tools that I use in my daily crafting when I make wreaths and bows and centerpieces and swags, some of the things that I consider vital for the business. So let's start with our St. Patrick's Day wreath. I'm going to make it with my Pro Bow the hand. Love this tool. I got it a couple years ago, and I've got 2 spool holders as well. This is instrumental in making some fabulous bows throughout the year. So I have 5 different ribbons that I'm going to use today, as well as some gauge. I use a 24 gauge to make the ribbon, the bow, and I've already cut 2 pieces. I know some people are really particular about the size so that we're not having a lot of waste. So I have a 15-inch and a 22-inch gauge. And I'll use both of these while I'm making the bow. So the first thing we're going to do is take our 3 ribbons. As you can see, I have a sheer ribbon with some shamrocks on it. I have a white backed ribbon with shamrocks and glitter. And then I have another white back ribbon with some shamrocks on it. These are all 1.5-inch ribbons. I'm going to pinch them here at the top, take my 21-inch gauge wire and wrap that around it. Nice and tight. And then I'm going to take it around the loop. This is on the D of the Pro Bow, row D. Take it around the first loop. And I'm going to wrap the gauge wire around this stick right here. Nice and tight. And then I'm going to wrap the other side of the wire on the nail that sticks out from the side. Again, nice and tight. We want that bow to be nice and tight. And then we're just going to take the ribbons, wrap them around the dowel, pinch it here at the end, and pinch it and turn it. Flip it up and bring it back around. We're going to do the same thing. Pinch it together and turn it so that the top of the ribbon's up at the front. One more time. The reason these are really handy over here is because when you're pulling on the ribbon, it all stays in place. It makes it so much easier to make the bow without having ribbon falling all over the floor. All right, so now we've got a second loop going up at the top. Bringing it back down, pinch it together. We're going to do this one more time. Bring it down, pinch it together, flip it, and onto the third dowel. Make sure that wire's out of the way. Pinch it together and flip it. And we're going to leave that right there. Now we're going to take our other wire right here and we're going to go underneath and maybe it might come out the top. There we go. Come out in the middle of the ribbon, just like that. And we're going to take this wire and we're going to tie it tight. Spin it around a couple times. All right, now we're good with that. So now we're going to take this ribbon, the tails of the ribbon. We're going to take our scissors, these are a must-have, and just cut it right there, just like that. And we're done with these ribbons. Next, I picked a lime green and white gingham ribbon, and we're going to dovetail that. Line it up right here and pinch it. This is a 2.5-inch ribbon. It can be used for a ton of projects. It's great for spring, also for St. Patrick's Day, obviously, but you could even use it for every day. It could be used for, you could even use it for Halloween. Lime green's a popular color for Halloween. All right, so I've wrapped that around the dowel right here. I'm going to take the pinched area and I'm going to wrap the wire around it and secure it. Twist that twice. Bring the ribbon down again, pinch it, flip it, bring it down again, pinch it, flip it, and we're going to tie it. So take those two wires, and give it a nice tight turn. All right, and then, actually I decided I'm going to do something else. We're going to make one more pass at this one. We're going to bring it down, pinch it, turn it, pinch it, turn it, and tie it off. And now we're going to dovetail our ribbon right here and tuck that in. And then we're going to put our last ribbon on. And you might have noticed that the dowels, the last dowels here on the Pro Bow, are a little larger than the ones in the front. And that is because I'm using a 4-inch ribbon for my last ribbon. I just got this ribbon in. Absolutely in love with it. It's got some lined circles in the middle between the Harlequin print. And I think it complements this ribbon really nicely. But I'm thinking of all the other ways I could use this ribbon throughout the seasons. All right, so we're going to take this ribbon, we're going to measure it out to the side, and we're going to pinch it, gather it, there we go, and we're going to tie it right here at the base with our wire, nice and tight, and you can dovetail that, but I'm going to do it after I'm done with the bow. All right. And then I'm going to bring it down, again, pinch and gather it, turn the ribbon so that the side with the print is facing the top, again, secure it in place, and one more pinch and gather, twist it, and tie that into place. All right, and now we're going to dovetail this ribbon. Get our scissors, dovetail that right there. All right, just want to make sure that's nice and tight. I'm going to take our pliers and just nip the rest of the ends off of that wire. And then we're going to take the rest of the wire, unroll it from the side. And we're going to tie it top and bottom together, nice and tight. Oops. All right. I take the middle dowel out, and then I lift the whole bow from the Pro Bow. And here's our bow. Now we're going to use the fluff box, and we're going to fluff our ribbon. So let's grab that. Okay, so now we're going to take our fluff box, and we're going to fluff our bow. One of the extra steps that I always do is I take a chenille stem. This is pink. I would usually use a green chenille stem, but I'm just going to grab what I have on hand down here. And I actually wrap that around the middle of the bow. The reason is I use the wire to fluff the box, but I use the chenille stem to attach it to whatever I'm putting it on, whether it be a centerpiece or a wreath or garland. I use the chenille stem to tie it on. So we're going to take that gauge wire and we're going to hook it into the eye hook here. And take the wire down to the bottom where the nail is and wrap it tightly around that. And then we're going to start to fluff our bow. So taking the loops here at the top, and I'm going to separate them. And what I try to do, because I have a little bit of OCD, is I don't want the same ribbon next to each other. So I try to vary the placement of the ribbon. All right. So as you can see, as I'm doing this, I have the sheer ribbon. They're all not next to each other. I think that really shows off the ribbon a lot better and helps me with my OCD. I'm going to turn the box around and do this side over here. All right, so there is the first part of our bow. And I have the tails from these, and I'm just going to spread them around. And now I'm going to fluff out the gingham ribbon. And I have one tail on this side, so I'm going to pull the other tail on this side and fluff out the two bows, or the two loops. And now I'm going to fluff out this last 4-inch ribbon, black and white. And again, I have one tail down here. I'm going to have the other tail on this side and the other loop. And I need to do a quick cut on this to dovetail it. As well. All right, so there you have it. Our beautiful St. Patrick's Day bow, using some St. Patrick's Day ribbon, but also using some everyday ribbon, just to give it a little bit of variety. There you go. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the tools that I use for my trade. I have some really great practical tips for a lot of you, things that I've learned over the time that I've been making crafts, and I want to share some of those things with you today. So I talked a little bit earlier about the Pro Bow the Hand, and I use that as a bow maker. I also have the Deluxe Easy Bow Maker, and I use that one as well, depending on what kind of bow I'm making. Obviously, hot glue, really important to have, and as well as a hot glue gun. I use the Sure Bonder hot glue gun. It's really hot, but it does a great job. And I have a silicone mat for it, which is, I don't know if you guys have one of these, but this is amazing because once the glue gets on there and it dries, you just peel it off and throw it away. So definitely worth an investment. Actually, I think I got this for free at a market once. They were passing them out. And so if you go to market, you might be able to get one of those too. It was a craft market. Some of the other tools that I use, obviously scissors, and I have a couple different pairs. I have scissors that I use just for ribbon. I have scissors that I use to cut mesh. I have scissors that I use to cut paper. I have scissors that I use to cut fabric because I don't want them to be dulled. Sometimes when you're cutting the wire ribbon, it can dull the scissors, so I don't want to use those same scissors on my fabric when I'm making like rag wreaths, so I have a different pair of scissors for that. Obviously, zip ties, huge, really necessary for the business. And one of the things that I do with my zip ties when I put them on, because I want them to be secure, and I think just pulling on it isn't enough, I actually use a pair of pliers and I yank on it hard to make sure that my items are secured. And then I cut them with my pliers. I also use these little greenery picks. For the life of me, I can't remember what they're called right now. I use these in some of my centerpieces and stuff. I have a rotary cutter that I use to cut my mesh as well as my fabrics. And I have gauge wire. I used that a little earlier when I made a bow. I use lots of chenille stems, and I have these in a variety of colors. Really important for the business. And this is something that my husband bought me, which has saved my fingers. These are silicone fingertips. And you put them on your fingers so that when I am using the hot glue from here and having to like dab it in, I don't burn myself and get blisters. And so these are a lifesaver. I truly recommend them. I think you got them from Amazon. They are absolutely amazing. And then the final thing that I'm going to share with you today is obviously this mat, cutting board mat. I have a couple of these, but I love, they're awesome. They're awesome because they have the measurement on them so that I can measure the length of my mesh when I'm doing it, or my ribbon. It's already right here for me. It protects my work surface, and I have which I did not bring down here, a dusting brush that I use to dust off all the glitter, because we know what Christmas is all about. and how much glitter and stuff gets all over everything. And so I have a really neat brush that I use to just dust everything off and right into the trash. Maybe I'll share that with you next time. So folks, this is a few of my tools of the trade that I wanted to share with you. Thanks for joining me today, friends. Ribbons like this and other really great ribbons can be found on my Etsy shop, Sway Me Vegas. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great day.